Yeah, hi there, this is tuxacher.com, and in today's video I want to show you tether software, DSLRMaster version 2, but it's beta status right now. So we just start the application. I switch to the desktop. Okay, as you probably can see, the graphical design was overworked a lot. I think those controls here to switch between aperture and time priority doesn't need to be explained. You can change the F number and ISO settings and exposure control. Okay, it's a German program. You can, if your monitor resolution isn't big enough, you can slide in or slide out those controls to get just these controls you need for your work. Okay, here, this one, you can switch between the different measuring methods like spot metering or differential metering. You can switch between RAW and any combination of JPEG resolution, but we'll stick to RAW. And this is the first control concerning tether shooting. With this one you can shoot an image at a certain time. If we switch this on, you have the choice between starting time for the image, or you can define time as a countdown. So just for example, if I would like to take an image on, let's say, in a minute or so, I would define the starting time for the image, and that's all there is to it. Okay, we switch this one off. And very important for time-lapse videos is to make a lot of images at a certain interval. This one can be defined in this control. Let's say we would like to take 200 images, which is not too much for a time lapse, at an interval of, let's say, 30 seconds. That would be all there is to it. Okay, we go back and switch this to one shot to turn it off. This one is exposure sequence which you need for doing HDR images, but DSLRMaster can only do such an image sequence if set to manual. I tried to switch the camera to manual mode, but since it's a better software, it might not work. Just try it. Go to manual. Okay, it switched. Okay. And here you can define the number of images and the exposure value between the different images. Okay, that are mainly the controls. The last control here is you can define scripts that describe your sequence or your timing in the language Python, but I never did use that, so I can't tell you about it. Go back, and now we just want to switch to live view. There seems to be a little bug in the software. To get the live view button here in the screen, I have to switch to tether. You see this live view button here, and after doing that it appears on this screen too. Okay, with this lock you can permanently display this control on this screen. We just use this one, lock it, and switch on to live view. And as you probably heard, the mirror locking up to get you to live view. You can focus by double click, enlarge the scene that is already in focus. Go quit the zoom mode and go to another part of the scene like this one, and do autofocus. This automatically focusing via live view and a sharpness index you see here on the screen doesn't work all the time. So if I look at the controls, he still tries to focus, but it doesn't work, so I stop it and focus manually till I get this range of the picture sharp. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let's put the focus on the detail there, like this. Okay. Now we're viewing the whole scene and you would be able to take a picture. I mounted a 100mm macro lens to a 5D Mark II. Okay, that would be the settings for taking a regular picture, but you're using such a tether software for stacking most of the time. We switch back to live view like this, and there is one control implemented in the software which is pretty interesting. You can define focus point in the foreground and mark it with the green square. Define a focus point in the background or where you want to have the farthest away sharp point. And now you have to determine with your experience how many steps of the medium or small steps between one focusing and the number of images to get a series which can be stacked with software like Combine or Photoshop to an image with a really huge amount of depth of field. That were the main functions in short. Probably I will take a closer look at the software if the final version 2 is released, which according to the author's website should be this year. And maybe he gets a problem about the focus via sharpness index repaired, so it can be used to focus just by placing the focusing point in live view. Okay, that was my little introduction in the software DSLRMaster 2, which is so far not released yet. The software will stay shareware, means you have to pay for it. If you already own the version 1, there are plans to release the version 2 for those licensed users free of charge. Okay, that was the video for today. Please place your questions in the comments. See you next time. Ciao, Tux Oche.